Welcome back to another video, guys. So today we'll be talking about how to set up a chart with Webull. I'm doing this from a computer, so you can do the same from your phone. You could do the same from your mobile device, your tablet, whatever, but it works best to chart on a computer and to look at stocks. Any research that you're doing with stocks is best to just do it from a computer rather than your phone. So let's hop right into it. So let's hop right into Webull. So here I just have the QQQ chart. So the QQQ is the ETF for the NASDAQ, and this is what charts will more or less look like when you're just first hopping into an app, whether it's Webull, Robinhood, or Thinkorswim. This is what the chart will look like. It'll look like a line. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up the chart so it gives you more information and you're getting more bang for your buck with candlesticks and indicators and everything. So first, you're going to want to change the lines here. You're going to want to change the candlesticks. So wherever on your chart you see like candles, you're going to want to go and change them over to that. We usually use the regular candles, not the hollow candles. And then you close that out. So now you see you got candles instead of the lines. And if you don't know how candles work, candles are simply the green candles means the candle opened higher. The candle closed higher than it opened, and the red candles mean that the candle closed lower than it opened. So for this candle right here, this big green candle, it opened where you see the candle is green right there, and then it closed where the candle is green up top. And then those little lines above and below where you can see that it opened and closed, those lines are the low and the high of the candle. So the candle didn't necessarily close at the high. It closed right below the high, and it went all the way down here, but it opened above that low. So that's where you get that. And then with the red candles, you have it opened with this candle right here. It opened right here, and it headed down, and then it went all the way down to that low right there, but it didn't close at that low. It closed right here. So that's how you kind of read candles. And then for indicators, everybody has different indicators that they use, but if you want to just get the best indicators, pretty much VWAP, EMA, or SMA. So I have VWAP on all time frames at all times because it's very good to keep on a chart. And then I use EMA. My EMAs are right here. I use EMA 9, 21, 50, and 100. And then if I'm using different applications, I might use SMA because I like SMA the most, but Webull doesn't have SMA on this application, so I just use EMAs. They're all pretty good. Not too much of a difference in between them. But you see it gives you the lines right here, and these EMAs give you kind of moving support and resistances, because you can go through and plot support and resistance lines on your chart, but during the day, let's say if I'm on the 15 minute chart, the stock might be moving up or down, having a breakout here, and these lines will tell me there's some resistance right here, so don't expect the stock to just run through the EMA lines or run through any lines, even if there wasn't any like natural support and resistance here that I have plotted. So the last thing we'll do, we'll just plot support and resistance, and then we'll be done. So here's the daily time frame. And if you don't know time frames, basically the time frames it's basically telling you that's how many candles are for each time frame. So for the daily time frame, there's one candle per day. So this candle, it was one day that made up this candle. One full day made up each of these candles on the chart. For the 4 hour, each candle is showing you 4 hours of the stock trading. The 2 hour would be 2 hours for each candle, and so on. So typically when you're plotting support and resistance, if you've never plotted support and resistance on a chart, it's best to go to that daily time frame. Sometimes it's best to even go to the weekly, but I'm just going to show you guys the daily time frame here. So you're going to want to go to that horizontal line, grab that horizontal line. I usually start with the high, and then grab another horizontal line, start with the reasonable low. You don't need to plot all the way down here at 266 per se, where this low is, because it has nothing to do with the stock is currently at 337, I think it is. So you shouldn't expect it to be at 266 anytime soon. So if it were to go somewhere down to 266, then okay, you could plot support and resistance when it gets down there, but no need for that. But I just plot the high and the low for the kind of recent time frame to give you like the strongest support and resistance. And usually excuse me, I make the lines thicker from that high and that low. I make those lines thicker, and then I go in between and start plotting support and resistance there. So we have support right here, because a lot of candles came down, touched this line, didn't necessarily break. They all closed above this line, so that's support. Support is if the stock comes down, there will be people buying at the support line. And if resistance is a stock goes up and it's trying to test resistance, there will be people selling at that resistance line, because it's hard for that stock to break above resistance. So you have resistance right there because stock had trouble breaking above that line. And then once you have enough right here on these higher time frames, it's good to go to the smaller time frames where you get more in depth with intraday movements, because the daily doesn't give you too much. It just tells you one candle per day. So you're getting a really strong support and resistance there, but you're not getting the rest of everything. And then that's support right there, because the stock is currently at that dotted line right there at 337.99. So you see that the stock came down, touched right there. It touched right here. It touched right here. Where you see the candles it broke above this line, and then it came back, retested this line, and then continued up. That's good support right here, because that means when the stock broke this, because when the stock is below a resistance, then once it breaks above, it becomes support. So right here, it broke through this resistance. It came back, tested the support, and then kept going. So these are good areas to buy after a breakout. So stock broke out here, closed above the resistance, and then came back down, tested the support. When it comes back down, test after you get that confirmation that it's going to stay above. Great time to buy. So that's support now, because the stock is above it. And then let's plot one more. We'll get out of here. Let's just say right here, I would say this is good resistance, because the stock is below it currently, and it might even test that tomorrow because it's at 338 right now. And if it were to break through all of these EMAs and whatnot, then it would probably go up to test that 340.28 line. But that's a brief setup and support and resistance setup for you guys, and you could use this with pretty much any stock. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but see you guys in the next one.